Welcome, ambitious minds and future achievers. Today we're stepping into the world of one of the most powerful personal development books ever written, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. This isn't just another book about making money. It's a life-altering guide to unlocking the true potential of your thoughts. What he discovered was astonishing. Success is not a matter of luck or background, but the result of specific principles that anyone can apply. Whether your goal is wealth, personal growth, or achieving a lifelong dream, this book shows you how to start with a burning desire, build unshakable belief, and turn thoughts into powerful actions. So stay tuned, because in this journey, you'll learn how thoughts become things and how you can think your way to success. At the core of the book is one powerful idea: thoughts are things. Hill teaches us that everything begins in the mind, and when guided by purpose, desire, faith, and persistence, those thoughts can shape your destiny. We'll explore how a burning desire acts as the starting point of all achievement, how unwavering faith turns that desire into belief, and how persistence can push you through every obstacle. You'll learn why having a definite purpose, taking organized action, and surrounding yourself with a mastermind group are critical steps toward success. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about using the mind as a creative force, backed by action and discipline. As we go through each principle, you'll discover tools and strategies that can be applied to your goals. Whether you're aiming for financial freedom, personal excellence, or a bold dream you've held onto for years, the foundation of wealth, as Napoleon Hill reveals in Think and Grow Rich, begins with a single, powerful thought. It's not money, luck, or opportunity that starts the journey to success. It's the mind. Hill emphasizes that all achievements, no matter how great, originate from a burning desire. This isn't just a fleeting wish or vague ambition. It's a deep, consuming passion for a specific goal. Hill teaches that you must know exactly what you want, down to the exact amount of money or success you desire, and then commit to obtaining it with absolute clarity and determination. He outlines that desire, when fueled by belief and persistence, becomes the starting point of all riches. It acts like a magnet, drawing opportunities. Ideas, and people toward you. But this desire must be emotional, intense, and backed by faith. Hill encourages us to write down our goal, set a deadline, outline a plan, and read it aloud twice daily. This process impresses the goal into our subconscious mind, reinforcing the belief that achievement is not just possible, it's inevitable. Hill gives powerful examples, like Edwin C. Barnes, who had a burning desire to work with Thomas Edison. Despite having no money or connections, Barnes' unshakable desire helped him achieve his dream. The key takeaway here is that your thoughts are the seeds of your destiny. When you combine thought with desire, faith, and action, you begin to shape your reality. Success doesn't come to the most talented or the most fortunate. It comes to those who want it badly enough and are willing to persist through any challenge. So the first step to building wealth or achieving any dream is not external. It begins within, with a focused mind and a burning desire that refuses to accept defeat. Napoleon Hill makes it abundantly clear in Think and Grow Rich that desire is not merely a hopeful wish or a casual daydream. It is the starting point of all achievement. True desire, according to Hill, must be definite. It must be specific, measurable, and backed by unwavering commitment. He explains that vague intentions like, "I want to be rich," hold no power. Instead, success begins when you clearly define exactly how much wealth you want, when you want it by, and what you are willing to give in return. Hill introduces a 6-step method to crystallize this desire into a plan of action. He instructs readers to fix in their minds the exact amount of money they desire, determine what they intend to give in exchange, set a definite date for achieving it, and create a detailed plan for reaching the goal. Then, most importantly, he emphasizes writing all of this down in a clear statement, and reading it aloud twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. This process conditions your subconscious mind to accept the goal as reality and begins aligning your actions and decisions toward its fulfillment. By transforming a wish into a concrete, written statement, Hill says you activate your mind's creative power and ignite the emotional intensity needed to follow through. This clarity fuels belief, and belief fuels action. It's a psychological shift, from hoping to having, from dreaming to doing. Every great achievement in history, Hill reminds us, started with a definite desire backed by faith and a clear plan. If you're serious about achieving success, you must start by defining your desire with precision and passion. Only then can the invisible power of thought begin working in your favor, guiding you step by step toward the realization of your goal. Napoleon Hill brings his principles to life through powerful real-life stories, and two of the most inspiring figures he highlights are Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, men who exemplified the power of persistent desire. Edison, the inventor of the electric light bulb, is a shining example of unwavering determination. But Edison didn't view these attempts as failures. He saw them as steps closer to success. What fueled his tireless experimentation? A burning desire to bring his vision to life. He knew what he wanted, and he refused to quit until he achieved it. Similarly, Henry Ford didn't rise to success overnight. He faced criticism, financial struggles, and even public ridicule when he set out to build a car that was affordable for the average American. But Ford had a clear goal and an unshakable belief in his idea. His desire was so powerful that it pushed him past rejection and toward revolutionizing transportation forever. Hill uses these stories to show that success is not reserved for geniuses or the lucky few. It's available to anyone who can see their goal clearly and hold on to it with emotional intensity. Edison and Ford didn't just dream. They visualized, believed, and acted with faith and persistence. They transformed thoughts into reality because they refused to give up. Hill teaches us that if you want to achieve greatness, you must do the same. Visualize your goal so vividly that it becomes a part of you. Let it fuel your passion, drive your actions, and guide your daily habits. Just like these legendary innovators, your relentless desire can become the force that turns even the boldest dreams into tangible, life-changing success. Napoleon Hill reveals that faith is not just a spiritual idea. It is a mental state that plays a critical role in achieving success. According to Hill, faith is the catalyst that transforms mere desire into its physical equivalent. It's what breathes life into your goals and gives them the power to move from thought to reality. But here's the key. Faith is not something that magically appears. It must be cultivated deliberately through repetition, emotion, and belief. Hill explains that faith begins with autosuggestion, repeating positive affirmations that reinforce your goals and dreams. By doing this daily, you influence your subconscious mind to accept your goals as achievable truths, rather than distant possibilities. This process gradually replaces doubt and fear with confidence and expectation. Even when external circumstances are discouraging, faith keeps your inner world aligned with your vision, allowing you to stay focused, resilient, and motivated. For example, if you desire to earn a specific amount of money, you must visualize yourself already in possession of it. Speak it, feel it, believe it. Hill emphasizes that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between reality and repeated imagination. It acts on what it is consistently fed. When you combine emotion with repetition, you program your mind for belief. This cultivated faith becomes the emotional fuel behind your actions. It gives you the strength to take risks, to keep going when things get tough, and to ignore the voices of doubt, both within and around you. Hill makes it clear, without faith, desire weakens, but with faith, desire becomes unstoppable. Success begins when you believe it is not only possible, but inevitable. And that belief, nurtured every single day, will set you on a path where your thoughts begin to shape your world. Napoleon Hill firmly believed that belief in oneself is not something you're reborn with, it's something you build. In Think and Grow Rich, he introduces a powerful technique to do exactly that. Autosuggestion. This practice is the bridge between desire and faith, and it's the method by which you feed your subconscious mind with the thoughts that shape your reality. According to Hill, autosuggestion works by repeating affirmations, clear, emotionally charged statements about your goals and your ability to achieve them. When practiced regularly and with feeling, these affirmations begin to reshape your inner beliefs every day, preferably morning and night. Hill advises you to recite your written statement of desire. But it's not just about saying words, it's about feeling them. As you affirm your goals, you must visualize already living them. Picture the wealth, the lifestyle, the success you seek, and imagine the emotions you'd feel when you achieve it. This mental rehearsal, combined with spoken affirmations, conditions your subconscious to believe that success is not just a possibility, it is a certainty. This technique gradually eliminates fear, doubt, and negative thinking, By feeding your mind a steady stream of positive, success-oriented thoughts, autosuggestion helps you build unshakable self-confidence. Hill emphasizes that your subconscious mind responds to repetition and emotion, so the more passionately and consistently you affirm your goals, the more deeply they take root. Over time, this practice changes how you think, how you act, and how you respond to challenges. You begin to carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows where they're going. Through autosuggestion, you're not just hoping for success, you're preparing your mind to expect it. And when your mind believes, your actions begin to align, setting the stage for your goals to unfold in reality. Picture this: you wake up each morning, stand in front of the mirror, and with clarity in your eyes, you speak your goals out loud. You don't whisper them as a maybe, you declare them as if they're already yours. I will achieve financial independence. I will earn your exact amount. I am confident, persistent, and destined for success. According to Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, this simple daily ritual, when practiced with emotion and belief, has the power to completely rewire your mindset. This isn't just a motivational gimmick. It's a scientific process that Hill calls autosuggestion. When you repeat affirmations tied to your specific goals, you begin feeding your subconscious mind with images, emotions, and expectations of success. Over time, these repeated messages replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. What once seemed like a dream starts to feel like an inevitable future. Why? Because your mind begins to believe it. And once belief takes root, your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions begin to align naturally with that vision. Hill emphasizes that the key to success isn't just setting a goal. It's convincing yourself that you deserve and can achieve that goal. This conviction doesn't happen overnight, but through consistent practice. By visualizing your desired outcome while reciting affirmations, especially during emotionally receptive times like early morning or before sleep, you activate the creative forces of your mind. This daily exercise turns belief into action, and action into results. Eventually, you'll notice a shift. You're no longer chasing success with uncertainty. You're moving toward it with purpose. Hill's method proves that success begins with the belief that it is already yours. So start each day with conviction. Speak your future into the present, and let your inner belief become the force that shapes your reality. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill challenges the conventional idea that knowledge alone leads to success. He explains that knowledge in itself is not power. It becomes power only when it is organized and intelligently applied toward a definite goal. Merely collecting facts or degrees does not guarantee wealth or achievement. What truly matters is how you use what you know. Hill stresses the importance of specialized knowledge, that is, deep, practical understanding in a specific field that can be directed toward a purposeful end. Hill distinguishes between general knowledge, which is easily accessible and often of little value in isolation, and specialized knowledge, which is targeted and actionable. He gives the example of successful business people who may not possess formal education, yet they surround themselves with people who have the skills and insights they need. What sets these individuals apart is their ability to apply knowledge effectively, either through their own expertise or by leveraging the knowledge of others. Moreover, Hill emphasizes the need for continuous learning. The world is constantly evolving, and success belongs to those who adapt. This means reading, seeking mentorship, attending workshops, or even hiring experts. Whatever it takes to stay sharp and relevant. Specialized knowledge is not static. It must grow with your ambitions. Whether you're aiming to launch a business, build a career, or master a craft, you must commit to becoming an expert in your chosen area. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what matters most for your goal and how to apply it. Hill's message is clear. It's not the information you gather, but how you use it that determines your success. So focus on learning with purpose, apply your knowledge strategically, and let it become the engine that drives you toward the life you desire. Embracing lifelong learning is one of the most powerful principles Napoleon Hill emphasizes in Think and Grow Rich. He explains that success is rarely achieved through general knowledge alone. Instead, it is the specialized knowledge applied with purpose, that becomes the key to wealth and personal advancement. Hill urges readers to become students of life, always seeking to sharpen their minds and expand their understanding in their chosen field. This doesn't always mean attending formal institutions. Although that can help, it often means learning through experience, mentorship, books, and constant self-improvement. Think of your mind as a toolbox. Every time you study your craft, seek advice from experts, or test your ideas in the real world, you're re-adding a sharper tool to that box. And the more advanced your tools, the more effectively you can solve problems, seize opportunities, and create value. Hill also notes that specialized knowledge, when combined with imagination and action, becomes a powerful force. He reminds us that many of the world's most successful individuals were not necessarily the most educated in a traditional sense, but they were relentless in seeking knowledge that mattered. The key is to keep learning, not just for information, but for transformation. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill describes imagination as the creative workshop of the mind, the place where dreams begin to take shape. It is here that raw desire is molded into practical plans, and vague ambitions become real possibilities. Hill emphasizes that everything man has ever achieved or created first existed as a thought in someone's imagination. Whether it's a business empire, a groundbreaking invention, or a personal goal, the seed is always planted in the mind before it can grow in the real world. Hill identifies two distinct forms of imagination: synthetic and creative. Synthetic imagination involves rearranging existing ideas, concepts, and knowledge into new combinations. It's the type of imagination most commonly used in business and everyday problem-solving. Creative imagination, on the other hand, is where entirely new ideas are born. Ideas that come seemingly out of nowhere, often inspired by a strong desire, deep faith, or emotional drive. Hill believed that creative imagination allows us to tap into the infinite intelligence of the universe, receiving flashes of insight and inspiration when our minds are properly tuned. The key, he insists, is to actively use your imagination, not just dream, but to build, plan, and act. Imagination, when directed by purpose and fueled by desire, becomes a force of creation. Imagine a skilled chef in a bustling kitchen, surrounded by an array of ingredients, some familiar, some exotic. The chef doesn't simply follow recipes from a cookbook. Instead, they use their deep understanding of flavors, textures, and techniques, what Napoleon Hill would call specialized knowledge, to experiment, innovate, and create something entirely new. Perhaps they take a classic dish and add a twist, or combine ingredients from different cultures to produce a fusion of tastes never tried before. This is imagination in action, the transformation of knowledge into innovation. Hill uses such examples to illustrate how success is born from the marriage of knowledge and creativity. The chef's creative process is not just random guesswork. It's the result of years of learning, refining, and understanding their craft. Their imagination, whether rearranging known recipes or inventing completely new ones, operates just like Hill's idea of synthetic and creative imagination. In the same way, individuals in any field, whether it's business, art, science, or technology, can turn their expertise into something extraordinary by daring to think differently. Hill teaches us that innovation doesn't require genius. It requires the courage to imagine, the wisdom to apply what you know, and the persistence to bring your vision to life. That's where true success begins. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill makes it clear that desire alone is not enough. You can dream of success all day long, but without a solid plan to back it up, that dream will never become reality. Hill emphasizes that turning thought into action requires an organized plan, a detailed, practical roadmap that breaks down your goal into achievable steps. This plan becomes your guide, keeping you focused, disciplined, and steadily moving forward, no matter how big your ambition may be. But even the best plan can fall short if you try to go it alone. That's why Hill introduces the concept of the mastermind group, a team of individuals who support your vision, challenge your thinking, and contribute knowledge, ideas, and encouragement. These people aren't just advisors. They're partners in your journey, helping you refine your plan, solve problems, and stay accountable. Hill observed that nearly every great achievement was the result of collaboration and collective effort. Success, he insists, is rarely a solo act. When you combine a burning desire, a clear plan, and the right people around you, you create a powerful formula for achievement. Thought becomes action, and action becomes progress. And that's where dreams begin to take shape. Napoleon Hill introduces the concept of the Mastermind Alliance as one of the most powerful tools for achieving success. He defines it as a friendly coordination of knowledge, effort, and energy between two or more people who are working towards a definite purpose. When individuals come together in harmony, their combined brain power produces a force greater than the sum of their individual contributions. This mental synergy often leads to creative solutions, bold ideas, and breakthrough strategies that would be nearly impossible to achieve alone. Hill emphasizes that some of the world's most successful people, like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, reached the top not just because of their personal brilliance, but because they surrounded themselves with others who shared their vision and added value to their mission. The mastermind becomes a source of motivation, accountability, and insight, especially during moments of doubt or difficulty. Trust and collaboration are the keys to this alliance. Every member must bring honesty, commitment, and a spirit of contribution. In return, the group unlocks a deeper level of clarity, confidence, and creativity. According to Hill, if you are serious about success, forming a mastermind group isn't optional. It turns individual ambition into collective power. Napoleon Hill stresses that decisiveness is a cornerstone of success. No matter how strong your desire or how detailed your plan, without the ability to make firm decisions, you risk falling into the trap of hesitation and procrastination. Hill observed that successful individuals make decisions quickly and change them slowly, if at all. In contrast, those who fail often postpone decisions, constantly second-guess themselves, or wait for the perfect time, which never comes. Decisiveness is more than just choosing a path. It's about commitment. The very act of making a clear decision channels your mental, emotional, and physical energy toward one direction. It builds momentum. When you commit to a course of action, your mind becomes more focused, your actions more purposeful, and your confidence stronger. Every step forward becomes intentional. Hill warns that indecision not only wastes time, but also weakens your willpower. Over time, creates doubt and fear, two of the biggest enemies of success. The solution, he says, is to train yourself to act quickly on your plans and trust your judgment. Even if mistakes are made, you learn, adjust, and grow. Inaction breeds regret. Decisive action breeds achievement. That's how winners think and grow rich. One of the most practical and powerful tips Napoleon Hill offers in Think and Grow Rich is the importance of writing down your goals. He insists that vague dreams are not enough. You must be specific. What exactly do you want to achieve? How much money do you want to earn? By when? What are you willing to give in return? When you write your objectives with clarity and conviction, you transform your desire into a committed decision. This simple act sets a powerful process in motion. Once your goal is written, the next step is to create a detailed step-by-step plan. Break your big goal into smaller, manageable tasks. Identify what resources you need, time, money, skills, and who can support you along the way. This includes your mastermind group, mentors, or anyone who can offer knowledge, encouragement, or accountability. The key is to map out the journey before you take the first step. And most importantly, take that first step now, not tomorrow. Not when the timing feels perfect. Hill teaches that action is the bridge between dreams and reality. Waiting breeds fear, but action builds confidence. Decide on your first move and do it immediately. That one bold step could change your entire future. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill emphasizes that persistence is the true test of desire. You can have a strong goal, a clear plan, and even a supportive team, but if you lack persistence, your journey can end the moment challenges arise. Hill makes it clear that no great success story is free of failure. In fact, setbacks are almost guaranteed, but what separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up is the ability to keep moving forward, especially when things get tough. Persistence is not just about working hard, it's about continuing despite fear, doubt, and discouragement. Hill notes that many people fail just inches from success because they give up too soon. Often the breakthrough comes right after the point where most people quit. He also explains that persistence is a habit that can be developed. The more you train yourself to keep going when things are difficult, the stronger your mental resilience becomes. Hill's message is simple yet powerful. The moment you decide to stop trying, you close the door on your potential. But if you persist, if you hold tightly to your vision and push through resistance, you unlock opportunities that only the most determined ever get to experience. Napoleon Hill teaches that persistence is not something you're reborn with. It's a habit you build over time, and it begins with a clear purpose. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, your desire fuels your determination. That strong inner motive becomes the anchor that keeps you steady when the journey becomes difficult. But desire alone isn't enough. To truly develop persistence, Hill explains, you need a definite plan, a roadmap that directs your energy and effort. This plan doesn't need to be perfect from the start. What matters most is that it moves you forward and gives you a sense of direction. Then comes the most important ingredient, consistent action. Taking small, daily steps toward your goal builds momentum. Even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear, those repeated actions train your mind to keep going. Think of persistence as the engine of your journey. Without it, even the best ideas stall. Hill emphasizes that setbacks are natural, but quitting is optional. Every time you push forward despite resistance, you strengthen your mental muscle. Over time, persistence becomes second nature. It becomes your edge, your invisible force that keeps you in the race long enough to win it. In Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill draws powerful inspiration from the lives of some of history's most successful entrepreneurs, individuals who faced countless failures, yet refused to quit. Their stories aren't tales of smooth journeys or overnight victories. Instead, they are proof that persistence, more than any other trait, was the secret to their success. Hill studied leaders like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, and Henry Ford, who faced bankruptcy and public ridicule before revolutionizing the automobile industry. What set them apart wasn't just intelligence or opportunity, it was their refusal to give up. Hill emphasizes that these men didn't let setbacks define them. Every failure became a stepping stone, every rejection, a redirection. They maintained their vision with relentless determination, adjusting their plans but never abandoning their purpose. This kind of resolve is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. These real-life stories serve as a reminder that the path to success is rarely straight. It's filled with challenges that test your patience and belief. But as Hill teaches, the moment you choose persistence over defeat, you claim the power to shape your future. True success, he says, is born in the fire of persistence. One of the most valuable insights from Think and Grow Rich is the idea that progress is built through small, consistent actions. Napoleon Hill reminds us that success is not the result of one grand move, but the outcome of many small, deliberate steps taken every single day. When you commit to even the smallest task, making a call, writing a plan, reading a page, you build momentum. That forward movement, no matter how slow, fuels your confidence and sharpens your focus. Hill emphasizes that every step counts, even if it doesn't produce immediate results. What matters is that you stay in motion. Each action builds discipline and strengthens your belief in your goal. And when setbacks occur, as they inevitably will, Hill urges us to treat them not as failures but as hidden lessons. Every obstacle carries within it the seed of growth. If you look closely, you will find that mistakes often teach you more than success ever could. The key is to keep going. Persistence powered by small actions creates unstoppable energy. Hill believed that when you train yourself to take action daily, regardless of mood or circumstance, you become the kind of person who not only dreams, but achieves. That is the true path to greatness. Among the many thought-provoking ideas in Think and Grow Rich, one of the most fascinating is Napoleon Hill's concept of sex transmutation. At first glance it might sound unusual, but Hill presents it as a powerful psychological and creative principle. He explains that sexual energy is one of the most potent human drives. It's emotional, intense, and deeply motivating. Hill argues that some of history's greatest thinkers, leaders, and innovators learned to redirect or transmute this energy into more productive channels, using it to fuel creativity, imagination, and a burning desire for achievement. Instead of being controlled by this energy in a purely physical sense, they mastered it and turned it into a higher, more refined force that drove them towards success in business, art, and leadership. Closely tied to this is another essential principle: the power of the subconscious mind. Hill describes the subconscious as a fertile garden, constantly absorbing thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Whatever you plant there, through repetition, emotion, and belief, will eventually shape your actions and your reality. If you continuously feed your subconscious with positive thoughts, strong desires, and a clear vision of success, it will begin working for you in ways you may not even consciously realize. Through techniques like auto-suggestion, where you repeat affirmations and visualize your goals with conviction, you are programming your inner mind to believe and respond accordingly. Together, these two forces, sex transmutation and the subconscious mind, form a powerful partnership. One channels raw energy into productive focus, while the other shapes your internal world to align with your deepest ambitions. Hill teaches us that when both are properly harnessed, they unlock levels of potential that can push you far beyond ordinary limits and into the realm of extraordinary achievement. Napoleon Hill invites us to pause and reflect on the incredible power that already exists within us. Imagine, for a moment, that your body and mind hold a vast reservoir of energy, raw, emotional, and deeply motivating. This is the same energy Hill speaks of in the concept of sex transmutation, a powerful force that, when consciously redirected, can become a source of extraordinary creativity, innovation, and drive. Visualize taking that intensity and focusing it toward your goals, your business, your art, your personal development. Suddenly, you're not just wishing for success, you're fueling it. Hill teaches that when this inner energy is aligned with your clear desires and backed by a burning belief, it becomes a magnetic force that pulls opportunity toward you. Combine this with the programming power of the subconscious mind, and you begin to bridge the gap between thought and reality. It's not magic, it's focused mental transformation, driven by intentional energy. One of the most captivating and metaphysical concepts Napoleon Hill presents in Think and Grow Rich is the idea that the brain functions not just as a biological organ, but as a broadcasting and receiving station for thought. Hill believed that every thought you think carries with it a frequency, a vibration that radiates outward and can be picked up by other minds. Similarly, your brain is constantly receiving vibrations from others, ideas, emotions, inspiration, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. This concept ties deeply into the idea of the master mind group, where shared thoughts and focused energy create a higher level of intelligence and creativity that no one person could access alone. In this way, Hill suggests that our brains are wired to be part of a greater collective mind, where ideas can be strengthened and transformed into real-world action. As you grow in awareness and focus your mental energies through desire, persistence, and auto-suggestion, Hill says you begin to awaken something deeper, an almost mystical power he calls the sixth sense. This is not a physical sense like sight or touch, but an intuitive inner guidance system. It's that subtle feeling you get when something just feels right, or a sudden flash of insight that seems to come from nowhere. Hill describes it as a sort of spiritual radar that begins to function only after you've mastered the other principles in the book. It cannot be forced or logically explained. It simply emerges when the conscious and subconscious minds are in perfect harmony. While this may sound abstract, Hill is clear that the sixth sense is not based on superstition or guesswork. It is instead the result of mental conditioning and spiritual alignment. When your desires are crystal clear, your plan is in motion, and your persistence is unwavering, you begin to tap into this higher intelligence. It is in these moments of alignment, where thoughts are focused, emotions are strong, and purpose is pure, that the sixth sense quietly speaks. It might come as a warning not to trust someone, or as a sudden inspiration for a new direction. And those who learn to recognize and trust this inner compass often find themselves making wiser decisions and seizing opportunities that others overlook. Hill's metaphysical insights remind us that success isn't purely mechanical. It's deeply connected to how we think, feel, and connect with the world around us. When we align mind, heart, and spirit, we awaken a power far greater than logic alone can provide. In summary, Think and Grow Rich is far more than a book about making money. It's a timeless manual for mastering the inner forces that shape your external world. Napoleon Hill takes us on a profound journey into the human mind and spirit, showing us that the foundation of all success lies in our thoughts. He teaches that success begins with a burning desire, a dream so vivid and passionate that it drives every action. But desire alone is not enough. It must be supported by unwavering faith, a definite plan, specialized knowledge, and the persistent will to carry on despite obstacles. Each of these principles works in harmony, creating a powerful momentum that sharpens your focus, strengthens your resilience, and brings your vision closer to reality with every passing day.